All right, today's lesson is going to be some regressions and progressions of the front anchors challenge, depending on where you're at in your fitness and core connection journey. So the front anchors challenge is one of the most beneficial exercises that I still continue to do in my routine. And that's because it just has an incredible ability to engage the cross of abdominal muscles, those obliques, and mimic the fundamental source of movement that we learned as babies. It's crawling. That was an essential component to our core development. And so if you are feeling like you need a little extra support for the front anchors challenge, we're going to use something like an exercise ball to give you just a little more control and give you a little more biofeedback for your pubic bone connection. And so if we are going to do a quick review, the pubic bone is key in the front anchors challenge in the fact that we are having the intention of bringing it forward towards the ground with our abdominal muscles. So that's connecting to your lower front anchor, even though it's not connected to the ground. And if you have trouble achieving that feeling or that familiarity because we've removed the ground from the front anchor's awareness, then we can use something like an exercise ball to give you just a little bit of biofeedback, a little tactile cue, so that you can bring your pubic bone into the ball, and that will give you the feedback you need to engage those muscles. And so if you can do that, then the next step would be the upper front anchor, and you can push away from the ball with the upper front anchor. So that looks like this. If I was hunching or had poor posture, that would look like this. And so I want to push away from my upper front anchor, that bottom of the rib cage in the front. And now that opens up my upper body posture. I never lose connection to my pubic bone on the ball, and then I can begin to extend a limb, and I maintain that connection and breathing. So as in previous lessons, you can do one limb at a time, or you can do both limbs simultaneously. But again, the connection is the top priority, and the arm and leg movements is just an added layer of distraction to try and pull you away from that connection. And your job is to not lose that connection. It's to maintain that connection throughout. So that is the regression that I recommend, and that is best done with something like a Swiss ball or an exercise ball. Now let's talk about some progressions you can do if you need more challenge, because this exercise fundamentally is really good for your body. And if you want to continue to challenge yourself with it, these can help you keep going for years, as it has helped me to continue progressing and maintaining my body. So the first one is going to be very similar to what we learned in previous lessons. We're going to connect, pubic bone coming forward, pushing away from the upper front anchor to stay open, breathing, connecting to my anchors, extending both limbs, staying connected, and then you can bring up your foot, and that just creates a little bit more of an unstable surface. And so that would be one progression to give yourself a little bit more challenge. Reset, extend, and lift the foot. So that instability causes me to have to engage my core, my connection from arm to leg even more to maintain stability. And you can just keep your feet up and be alternating on your knees, and that's just fine. So getting that feeling of core engagement, that cross of core engagement is the goal, and to continue to challenge yourself.
This is the bridge on the foam roll, and the bridge on a